The ocean covers over 70% of our planet's surface. A vast, restless expanse that seems eternal, silent, and cold. From sun-dappled shores to the darkest trenches, the sea is a world in and of itself, ancient beyond reckoning. Yet beneath that shimmering blue lies an abyss, a shadow realm where over 80% remains unexplored, unmapped, and untouched by human hands. This is not merely a scientific frontier, it's a wilderness of mystery and menace. Beneath the waves, light dies quickly, darkness reigns, and beyond that darkness lurks something more terrifying than mere emptiness. Secrets. Creatures that defy evolution, lost civilizations swallowed whole, echoes from the deep that no known being could produce. These things exist, and they watch. The ocean does not forget. To some, the ocean is calming, a place of beauty, peace, and serenity. But to others, it is a nightmare of pressure and void, of infinite depth and unblinking eyes. A suffocating fear coils in the stomach and tightens around the throat. This is Thalassophobia, the fear of deep water and unknown horrors it may hide. But is this fear irrational, or is it something deeper, something ancient? Perhaps it's not fear at all, but maybe it's memory. Imagine standing on the edge of a yawning abyss, staring into a void so deep it swallows all light, all thought, all hope. This is the ocean's truth. The Mariana Trench, the deepest known point on Earth, plunges nearly 36,000 feet beneath the surface. To grasp that, consider this. If you drop Mount Everest into the trench, the summit would still be a mile underwater. Down there, the pressure is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level, enough to crush a human body almost instantly, to implode a submarine like a tin can. And yet, in this frozen, lightless tomb, life persists. But it is not life as we know it. These are alien creatures, glowing, gelatinous, jagged-toothed nightmares that have evolved in ways we barely can understand. Their blood runs cold, their movements are slow, deliberate, efficient. Some are even blind. Others glow with strange bioluminescence. Anglerfish dangle luminous lures from gaping jaws filled with needle-like teeth. Gulper eels unhinge their grotesque jaws to swallow prey their own size. And vampire squids drift through the blackness like fallen angels. The ocean has been evolving longer than we've walked upright. Its oldest inhabitants predate the dinosaurs. Each discovery made by deep-sea submersibles brings more questions than it does answers. New creatures, strange behaviors, entire ecosystems, powered not by sunlight, but by volcanic heat and toxic chemicals. We have mapped the surface of Mars more thoroughly than our own ocean floor. Beneath the waves lies chaos and silence. We are intruders here, soft-skinned, short-lived, and hopelessly vulnerable. We have no business in the deep. Thalassophobia isn't just the fear of drowning, it is much more visceral. It's the fear of the void, of existing on the edge of something incomprehensibly vast and indifferent. Picture yourself floating in the middle of the ocean. The water beneath you stretches down for miles. No floor, no walls, no escape. The sun may shine above, but below there is only cold, black emptiness. And somewhere in that emptiness, something stirs. This fear is rooted in evolution. For millions of years, our ancestors understood that water was dangerous. Murky depths meant predators. Stillness meant ambush. This knowledge etched itself into our very DNA. Even today, in a modern world of technology and logic, our lizard brains remember. It's the sense of being watched from below, the dread of something brushing your foot in the dark, the tension in your spine when the water beneath you turns inexplicably cold. Thalassophobia is not just fear, it's awe, a crippling realization of how small you truly are, a single breath in a world that does not care if you vanish. Despite its silence, the ocean speaks, and what it says is terrifying. In 1997, NOAA hydrophones detected a low, powerful sound deep in the Pacific. It was unlike anything scientists had ever recorded. They named it the bloop. The sound was so massive it was picked up by sensors over 3,000 miles apart. Some speculated it was ice shifting. Others believed it to be an undiscovered sea creature, something enormous. Then came the Julia, the upsweep, the whistle, and the train. Unexplainable underwater sounds that continued to confound researchers. No known geological or biological phenomenon matches their profile. They are echoes from places where no human has ever been, and they raise a disturbing possibility that maybe we aren't alone in the deep. Ghost ships add to this unease. The SS Orang Medan was discovered adrift in 1947, with its entire crew dead, eyes wide open, mouths frozen in silent screams, bodies contorted in agony. Moments after it was boarded, the ship exploded and sank without explanation. Not a single clue remains. The Bermuda Triangle has swallowed vessels and aircraft without a trace. Entire cargo ships vanish in calm water, leaving behind no wreckage, no bodies, only silence. The ocean doesn't always kill with violence. Sometimes it simply takes. Now imagine this. You're alone. You're lost at sea. No radio. No flares. No GPS. Just the gentle rise and fall of the endless blue. The sun dips below the horizon. Darkness falls and the stars flicker above, but they offer no comfort. Beneath you lies a world vast enough to bury continents. You kick your feet, treading water, but then you stop, not because you're tired, but because you feel it. A presence. Something has noticed you. Something that does not blink. Something old, patient. Maybe it circles. Maybe it waits just below. You look down, but the water is ink. You see nothing, and that's the worst part. You feel it more than you see it. Sailors once called this the deep madness, a psychological phenomenon experienced by castaways and shipwreck survivors. Not hallucinations, not psychosis, but something else. A slow realization that they were not alone, even when they should have been. Sometimes the sea does not drown you. It watches. It waits. And then it keeps you. Evolution is supposed to make sense, but the ocean didn't get that memo. There's the Greenland shark, blind and sluggish, drifting silently under Arctic ice. It can live for over 400 years. Its flesh toxic, its body riddled with parasites, and yet it endures. Then there's the colossal squid, rarely seen alive, with eyes the size of basketballs and tentacles lined with rotating hooks. A predator so elusive it was once considered a myth. The fang-toothed fish, with its grotesquely large teeth, swims with its mouth permanently open. The barrel-eye fish has a transparent head, its eyes eerily staring straight upward through its skull. These are not exaggerations. They exist. And then there's the Torreytopsis storni, the immortal jellyfish. It can reverse its aging process, cycle back to youth, over and over. An eternal creature drifting silently through the dark. Some scientists believe entire leviathans may still dwell in the trenches, gigantic squids and serpentine creatures that inspired ancient sea monster legends. We've explored so little of the deep that such ideas are no longer considered absurd, merely unconfirmed. The ocean itself may or may not be hiding monsters, but one thing is for sure. The ocean, in and of itself, is a monster. Thalassophobia isn't just emotional, it's neurological. Studies show that deepwater images trigger heightened activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center. People report shortness of breath, rapid heartbeats, and overwhelming dread when exposed to images of vast, underwater voids. What we fear isn't death, it's being forgotten. The deep ocean is the closest thing on Earth to oblivion. Things go in and never come back. Submarines vanish, divers disappear, planes crash, leaving behind only oil slicks and shattered radios. No final words and no graves. Only the abyss. Even when we recover wreckage, it feels wrong, warped, eaten away by time and by pressure. Shipwrecks become haunted cathedrals of rust and coral. Skeletons drift in the eternal slow motion. Down there, even time doesn't behave the same. But what if the ocean isn't just water? What if it's something more? What if it holds not just animals, but its own consciousness? A vast, slow-moving awareness that does not think in words or emotion, but in tides and pressure, and even silence. And maybe the strange noises, the vanishing ships, the flickers of light seen deep beneath the surface, maybe they aren't coincidences. Maybe they're communication. Some believe ancient sea monsters were metaphors, warnings passed down through myth. Krakens, leviathans, serpents, symbols of something real and dangerous. And maybe, just maybe, they're still down there, watching. Picture yourself in a deep-sea submersible, all alone. The lights flicker. Outside there is only darkness. Your depth gauge ticks downward. 1,000 feet, 5,000 feet, 10,000. You pass through the twilight zone. Sunlight dies. Fish scatter. Then stillness. And then eyes. 2 glowing spheres reflect your light. You freeze. Not a fish. Not a wreck. Something enormous, still. A shape too big to even comprehend. And then, slowly, it blinks. It was never asleep. It was watching you all along. Thalassophobia is not a disorder. It is a message. A whisper from an ancient part of your mind. The part that remembers the dark, the drowning, and the things with no name. It is not just a fear of water. It is the fear of what lives beneath it. of being small, of being insignificant, of being watched by something that does not blink, does not breathe, and does not forget. The ocean is not silent. It never was. It waits. It watches. And one day, it may call you by your name.